Hi, let's keep reading Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Last time we found out that Jane loves Mr. Bingley and Mr. Bingley loves Jane and Mr. Darcy loves Elizabeth. But, of course, none of them are going to say anything about it. Let's find out what happens next. Chapter 7. We now learn that after Mr. Bennet dies, his house can't be inherited by any of his daughters. It has to pass to a man. I don't think that's particularly fair, do you? Elizabeth should be able to have her own house. Anyway, there's some gossip in the town about military men stationed in the nearby town of Meryton. This is really exciting for the two youngest sisters, who are called Lydia and Catherine, whose nickname is Kitty. They think they're so handsome in their military uniforms, so they have to go and visit their mother's sister, Mrs. Phillips, who lives nearby to the men. Mr. Bennet hears them gossiping and says, "From all that I can collect by your manner of talking, you must be two of the silliest girls in the country." A little rude from Mr. Bennet, but I'm sure he just means it as a joke. Anyway, suddenly a note arrives inviting Jane to Netherfield Park for a day. But they all want Jane to stay for longer than a day so that she can get to know Mr. Bingley a bit better. So, Mrs. Bennet has a cunning plan. It looks like it's going to rain, so if Jane travels there by horse rather than a covered carriage, she won't be able to come back home without getting wet, and so Jane will have to spend the night at Mr. Bingley's house. I think Mrs. Bennet is so funny. She just wants to get her daughters married so badly. Anyway, unfortunately, their plan works out a little too well. Jane gets soaked on the ride there and ends up ill with a cold. Elizabeth goes to visit her, hiking over 3 miles on foot. She's such a hero, don't you think? She ends up with wet feet and dirty stockings just to see her sister. She gets a few odd looks from the Bingley sisters and Mr. Darcy for being so unladylike, but they seem polite enough, and when Jane insists that her sister spend the night, the Bingleys say, "Okay." I wonder what will happen next. I'm Seth Bentley from the Idol Tutor Studio. Join me next time and we'll read more together. I'll see you soon. Bye bye for now.